I mean, it's something about a fresh line. Make a man feel like $1,000,000. Fresh fade, get the tape or the shadow on it. Them waves so deep, you need a paddle for them. I mean, it's more than just hair. It's the confidence you feeling when you step up out that chair. And I swear, they tell me every bob is mean. From Trav, Herm, B to Sayyid, now say hello to the team. Cause the style supreme, my nigga, don't forget the style supreme. They know the style supreme, supreme style. Keep the whole town clean. Get a can of that sheen, spray it on me, make me feel like a king. That's what I mean by gold dreams. And they gon' get up on this smooth shit one day. And you could even bang this cut on a Sunday, Monday. A bunch of Blake Griffins with them clippers. A Chris Paul throwing lives to us all. It's more than a cut, you don't need no stitches for this. Walk around with your missus for this. They know it's squizzy, but we gon' say exquisite for this. Exquisite for this. Put your sons, put your pops, put your neighbors on it. That flavor on it, then finish it with a razor on it. Because it's more than a cut though. I swear it's more than a cut. Now grab a mirror, right after that finishing touch. Get up out the chair, you know what's up. I mean, it's more than a cut, though. I swear it's more than a cut. Now grab a mirror.
In my day, the barber was a counselor. He was a fashion expert. He was a style coach, pimp, just general all-around hustler.
All the 66 years I lived, I said all them things a long time ago. But I say this here, I'm still pretty. Because we're weak.
Good morning, Abarigani, Hotep, peace. What's happening? Assalamu alaikum.
Dude is ridiculous.
Grand rising, kings and queens.
And niggas.
You're watching hashtag Supremely Faded. Peace, Big Rodney, G. Rodney Bates, my brother. Big Mike is in the building. You're watching hashtag Supremely Faded, the real barbershop podcast. We talk about everything that's real up in here. I promise you. Man, who's in the building? The Supreme Star Barbers are in the building, I have to say. But let me tell y'all about the Negro. Trav's here. Saeed's back there cutting. We got a couple of guests. And
that nigga's around the corner somewhere. Hey nigga, the show started, nigga.
The show started. The show starts at 10. The show starts at 10. I don't care.
Oh my mic.
The show starts at 10. Saeed's coming, but we got some guests, man. They're en route. Black women. Black women are usually on time, right? This the. They're walking in the door right now. The show has started.
Hey.
The show has started.
It started?
The show has started.
Oh. Okay. Well, let me
Come over here, MiDian. They're walking in right now. We got a room full of people.
We got
OMG. OMG. They're walking in, y'all. Oh my God.
made it. We made it.
Yolanda's in the building. She said she was gonna come in, but she got a meeting. Everybody's showing up today. Woo!
Why after the ass whooping?
before we get to the frivolity of last night, let's talk about some more important issues. Man, listen. Earlier this weekend, I gotta say this because we gotta pay respect to the ancestors. We lost James Earl Jones.
We did. Yeah.
Darth Vader.
We did.
Mufasa.
We did.
The king, man. Joffrey Joffrey. The king was Zamunda.
Yep.
We lost him.
Yeah. For those of us that are old enough to remember, Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
I learned my ABCs with James Earl Jones.
Oh, man.
And I believe we also lost Frankie Beverly today.
We lost Frankie Beverly this morning.
No, we didn't.
My sister has to be sick. My sister, she says that's her husband. Mrs. Muhammad is in the building. Hey, Mrs. Muhammad. Simone's in the building. We was playing some Frankie Beverly just before y'all walked in.
Yeah.
Because, man, the barbecues will never be the same. We still got the music, but, man.
That's real.
Man. Man, oh, man. Woo. Rest in power to those
So I gotta
beautiful
say something about
ancestors.
James Earl Jones. So one of the biggest disappointments for me as a young person, Star Wars was my end all because I saw that movie when I was about 11 years old. I spent hours. I'd go in there at 11 o'clock and stay until the 7 o'clock show. I was so enamored with the whole space thing, and Darth Vader was just my hero.
Right.
I just thought Darth Vader was the ultimate of the bad guys. I have never been more disappointed in my life than when they exposed who Darth Vader was.
Right.
I was like, I don't know who that is.
Right.
But that is not Darth Vader.
Right.
Darth Vader was James Earl Jones.
Right.
In
Absolutely.
size and everything.
Right.
It was not that dude.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Big, man. My son works. Man, coming to America, man. The king? Come on, man. Oh, man, showed up with the lion's head wrapped around his chest. Man. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. James Earl Jones.
The King of Zamunda.
Man. Some great ones.
That was the first Wakanda.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I haven't seen you since you've been married, lady.
I know. Well, thank you. I am officially married.
Look at that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So our beautiful guest who showed up a little late. Miss MiDian and Miss Wanda, and she got her Kamala sign. She been waiting to come in.
I have been. Honestly, that is a true statement. I am a true statement. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was ready.
Listen, before we get into that though, I gotta ask Trav. What about them Broncos, Trav? What about them Broncos?
Next question.
We off of that real quick.
We're not
We don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about the Buffalo. We don't want to talk about the Broncos. We don't want to talk about none of them.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
a little bit Tim
I don't
Tebow.
follow the NFL. I don't follow the biggest contributor of Trump and the GOP.
Wait, we got Taylor Swift?
Trump ain't got nothing to do with
He's
it.
all money. But I do appreciate the fact that the Broncos lost since last year. They were blaming all that on black people.
Oh man, and that's my thing. That's my thing. I am not a Sean Payton fan. I promise you, I'm not. I'm rooting for him to lose. And I don't like to see the Broncos lose, but man, that dude right there, white supremacy, the epitome. But anywho, on to the next thing. A couple of weeks ago, somebody tried to assassinate the former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump. And last night, Kamala Harris succeeded.
She did not miss.
She did not Miss. My God.
Ugly.
Man, y'all can ask my wife. I'm sitting up there like, man, this is starting to get sad at the end. That was it.
This one was mine.
That's it. All we got is 4.
Okay.
You need one?
All we got is 4.
No, we good.
Okay. So, yeah. And we haven't seen Miss Wanda since she went to the DNC.
And came back with the DNC
Came back with that
COVID.
DNC COVID.
It was the first time I've ever had COVID. I've never caught COVID. I've been COVID free, and but you know what though? There was so much, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to tie it all into last night. But there was so much joy at that convention, and I've gone to. I was at 2000. Y'all know I'm a political an animal. I have never seen joy like that at a political event. I did the Oprah event when Oprah was doing her thing, and Oprah did not have that much joy in her room. I mean, and the reason we got COVID is because, and especially black women, we were walking around the outside, the perimeter, I mean the inside perimeter of the convention hall, and black women were done up, y'all. We were looking good. We had on white dresses. We had the red, white, and blue matching, and we were hugging each other. I mean, you would see sisters just, like, sister, you look great. Give me a hug, girl. I mean, it was just, I've never experienced anything that fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you think it was better than the Democratic National Convention when Barack Obama was running for president? You think it was bigger?
Yes. It definitively was much larger. And I was there with Barack as well, too. I mean, if you look at my time thing, you know that was my first favorite president. But this was different, right? Because, one, I think that women are obviously a bigger demographic than just black folks, right? But for black women, y'all, we've done something that the Jewish people haven't been able to do, that the Italian people haven't been able to do, that the Latinos have not been able to do. We have a black woman leading the world right now. Man, that's some stuff.
That was big. Where do I want to start?
Wherever. Just drop me in.
Where do I want to start? Oh my God.
Let me start. First off, there's no way, and forgive me, and I'm ready to go in on anybody right now, but there is no way.
Look, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm got it.
There is no way that anybody can justify voting for what we saw last night of the former. Nobody can justify voting for Trump right now unless you are a racist or a misogynist. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There is no way around it. That man should not be anywhere near America's secrets.
I need some Trumpers in the in the chat room. I need some Trumpers. I need somebody.
I double dog dare anybody to come out.
I need some Trumpers.
yeah,
I need some Trumpers to come on.
I
That's
double
the wish
dog
factor.
I'm gonna agree with you on that
So
one.
yeah,
'Cause-
I think that those,
before.
yeah,
And that's scary.
yeah.
Yes, he did.
All the way up.
I thought he started out okay.
He started out okay last night.
No, he didn't.
But as soon
No, he
as
didn't.
she brought up the size of the crowd,
Yes.
He didn't start off
Well,
okay. This man
you know
was
what?
not even man enough to walk over to her
I was
and
about
shake
to say that.
somebody's hand.
I was about to say
You know
that.
what I mean? That shows what kind of little, pathetic individual that is, that he couldn't shake somebody's hand. What's the first thing your daddy taught you?
Right.
You look someone in the eye and you shake their hand.
Well, to be fair, maybe he was just trying.
You hug women, you shake their hand.
But listen,
You shake their hand.
but maybe he was just trying, to be fair, maybe he was just trying not to fall because he was just old, trying to make his way across the stage. The lights are bright, and he's trying not to. Like clearly, she was the stronger one. She walked over there and shook his hand firmly, or whatever. She passed the midway part.
So I
don't know.
I think for me, the parts that, so first, I think people that support Donald Trump, y'all gonna have a long day today because y'all got a lot to clean up. There's been people that have made comments on my celebrations because I was kind of just putting some moments for myself out there on my own Facebook platform. And there are people that, you know, of course, came in to ascribe and lean in, you know, and look, Wanda wants your name and current location, and I'm gonna try to not say it while we're here.
Wanda wants all that smoke today. She wants all that smoke.
But, so it was very.
She walked around with a banner.
Yeah, she's ready. It was very interesting to me where, you know, it was just that cliche, like, she's not black. First of all, she doesn't have to prove any of that to you. She is who she is, and she doesn't have to prove it to anybody. And that's another part that's been a part of the conversation of, is she black or is she not? She doesn't have to prove her identity to anyone. And then we also had individuals that were saying, well, her policies this, her policies that. Somebody even said she just put her policies up the night before the debate. This is the part where I think we get it wrong as society. We are living in such a short-term content era,
Right.
where everyone is getting their information as if it's fact through a soundbite. Imagine, like, and that's evolved this way, right? Like, it used to be radio, it used to be newspapers,
Right.
and, you know, it used to be television, and it used to be long-term television, right? Nobody would even sit down and watch a 30-minute sitcom anymore, because everything is so short-term content, and we leverage that as if it's fact. And just imagine for a second if that's what people did with your life.
Right.
Like, if we all said, you know what, Herman, we gonna just do this short-term content on your life, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to have all the context that I need. That's what I think people are. That's where I think people are lost in this Trump support. They are stuck in a short-term content space where they heard a soundbite, where they heard something without any research. We just don't have an informed constituency, and that's how I see the Trump supporters.
Right.
They're not informed constituents, and then if they are, and they're still choosing to vote, 100% agree. You must be a misogynist or racist, or you're in a cult. One of the three. Right? But those that are supporting him, from what I can tell, the ones that are in my proximity, they're living in short-term content.
I want to see all these Trump supporters. What's Trump's policy?
Agreed.
On
Yeah.
whatever. Choose whatever. What's Trump's policy on the military? What's Trump's policy on Israel? What's Trump's policy on small businesses? What's Trump's policy on abortion? What's Trump's policy? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone
'cause
tell me that.
He certainly didn't articulate anything in the way of
It
policy.
was all about him last night.
It was
Me,
all.
me,
It was
me,
like
I.
literally, and I told my wife this. This dude is just up there just saying stuff, just whatever. There was no factual basis to anything that he was saying, and he was saying it bad.
Yeah.
He did mention Israel, and he said, "I will take 24 hours and it will be done." I'm like,
But
if it was that
how?
damn easy, man. How do you plan on doing that?
Right.
I'll call him, and then we'll.
That was nothing but white privilege on display last night. That was white male privilege on display last night. I will take 24 hours and I will end something that we have not been able to end in 4,000 years.
Right.
Give me a break.
Or we're missing what he
Somebody
was
saying
saying.
we're getting some feedback on the mic, so I don't know if we
Oh, okay.
make sure the sound is okay.
He also was saying if he was saying he's going to end it in 24 hours, that's utter decimation for the people of Palestine. That's what that was coded for.
Yeah, and for all of the folks that are on Kamala for not doing enough for Palestine, tell me what you think that Trump is going to do for Palestine except for level it.
Well, I loved all of the nonverbals last night.
Yeah.
I loved all of the nonverbals. All the nonverbal communication that she gave to him, that he didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance. And, you know, Yolanda just mentioned something that I was going to mention. If you notice, when she shook his hand, she mouthed how to pronounce her name. She said, it's Kamala.
Right.
And that is all I needed to see. I said, oh, you are now in the lion's den. Like, somebody done shut the door and the chain is off. Like, you are about to get attacked in a way that I don't even think he was
Have you
ready
ever
for.
saw the lionesses hunt in Africa?
Oh yeah.
That was it. That was it.
it.
Listen, and for Menace to Society, you know you done fucked up, right?
You know what? When she started going in on the crowd size, that was a lioness move right there because she lured
drew
him
him in.
out and drew him
Threw
in,
him right in.
and she was able to take her.
Yeah. And then the other
That
part
was strategy.
where,
That was brilliant.
yeah.
Brilliant strategy.
Because he unraveled completely after that.
He
Oh,
did.
man.
He was gone. And then when she said this former president, like
Right.
she had to stop because
Right.
you know she was like this motherfucker right here.
This
Like,
motherfucker.
let me tell you about that's where she was at in her head. But so for those that want to say that she wasn't presidential, I'm hearing that part too. That she was this hood black women, all the
What is
nonsense.
that?
Like, it's people that are just spewing nonsense. But
Yeah.
So first off, she's not black enough. Now she's too hood.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked her better here than at the Democratic National Convention. I thought, just under the gun, how she was poised, how she showed up, she was very presidential.
It's two
Well,
different
this
formats.
is everybody's saying too. Can she handle it without a teleprompter? So what we saw last night was nothing but black excellence on display. Let me be very clear about this woman. She's never lost an election. Hashim, how hard is it to run an election?
It's hard as hell.
It's hard as hell. And the elections that she's never lost, have been in the 6th largest economy in the world.
Yep.
California is not just a state. It is bigger than every country in the world except for 6.
Yep.
So, and she has won every one of those elections.
Right.
She was also the president of the Howard Law Review in college. So this woman is brilliant. And when they said that she was preparing for this, she came out well prepared, presidential, on top of everything, and she showed a lot of humanity and joy, and she spoke about us, not about her.
Right.
All I heard from Donald Trump last night was
Alright.
stupid. Me, I.
I had the biggest
I.
crowd. I had the biggest.
I think he said that she pays people to go to hers and nobody leaves. But when she said people leave yours, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
like she doesn't match you twice. And there's also, just to those, if this message does get to Donald Trump, just know that there are going to be a couple of things that hit you a couple days later.
Right.
You're going to be like, wait, did she say? You're going to have those moments.
Yeah.
So just, bunker down. Make sure you have some snacks. Just close the drapes and just let it all resonate with you. Because
Right.
that's one of the things. The recollection game that we have as black women, that is also pretty dope. So
Kamala should have been arrested for elder abuse this morning.
You're right. You want to see a dead body? But it also speaks to her professionalism, right? Like she's a career prosecutor, right? She's a professional. She showed that, and this I enjoyed it because it was reminiscent of when she took the Senate, when Trump won presidency and is making Jeff Sessions his Attorney General, and how she laid into Jeff Sessions the segregationist, the racist from Alabama, the one that Coretta Scott King wrote a letter about begging Bush not to make an appointment of him to the Supreme Court. Like, this is that Kamala Harris. And I think hopefully, I mean, it wasn't there for me, but hopefully it's alleviated all the doubt about her professionalism, all the doubt about her readiness to go from day one. She is one of the most qualified people to ever run for the office of presidency.
Outside of Hillary Clinton.
And she's a bit more qualified than Hillary Clinton. She was a senator, right? She was vice president, right? Right, she was not. She was a senator. She was an AG. She was a district attorney. Like, she has all of these backgrounds, all these credentials to her backgrounds to make her ready to go on day one. So without anyone ever being president before, she's the most qualified person to run. And we saw what happened the last time the person that was president that's running for office again. Lack of qualifications.
My wife said she knew exactly how to get to him.
Yep.
And with a narcissist, it will work every time because they can't help themselves. And he did fall into every trap that she laid. Every single one.
He ran into it.
Unbelievable.
She wanted to debate. Will she run the presidency?
That's the
well, now
question.
that's up to us.
I believe that she will.
think
Once
that
again,
kinda
just because I'm saying I
solidified it.
believe that she will does not mean that we don't have work to do. I
Right.
believe that she will. I did want to hit one thing though, and I've been thinking about all y'all since our last meeting. I have been. I've been going deep with you folks, and I loved it. I mean, this is like my favorite thing here. Just so you
That's
know.
what I'm talking
This
about.
is my favorite thing. And y'all are some of my favorite folks. But one thing I heard the last time I was here is, what is she doing for black people? And I want to address that because she does a lot for black folks. But let's be very clear right now. Trump's Supreme Court has prevented us from doing anything for black people or Latino people. We can't have any race-based policies anywhere in America. As a CU regent, I can't even do a scholarship through the university for black students.
Right.
Now we can do it on our own, but I can't do it with any connection to the University of Colorado for black students because it would be considered race-based.
Right.
So you want to know what Trump has done for black people? He's ensured that we can't do anything for black people underneath the realm of race.
Right.
That's what Trump has done for us. So we need to get away from this underneath for black people, because if she's helping the middle class, when she says she wants to have 25 million small businesses, who do you think that's for?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little pushback on that. Just a little
You're
bit.
on your own, brother.
Because at the end of the day, in terms of not doing anything for black people, in my view, and this is where a lot of black people, especially black men, are. Next time never comes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't see it any different with Kamala Harris. Even though she did perform magnificently in that particular debate, I would, at this point, politically, I'm moving in MiDian's direction of doing things more on a local level than looking to national for anything.
Sure.
Because
All politics are local.
yeah, because our time never comes, it seems, with national politics. It didn't come with Obama. It didn't come with Clinton. It hasn't come with the Republicans. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't see or hear anything different coming from Kamala. Even though, like I said, I don't even have a problem with her. I think that she's brilliant. However, at the end of the day, she's a politician.
What do you want to see? Yeah, what would you want to see from her?
What would I want to see? I would like to see someone black actually say something on behalf of black people. Just personally, I would. You know what I mean? I know that it's not the wisest thing to do politically, but who gives a damn?
I think, real quick. I think one thing that when, and I hear what you're saying, Wanda. You know, but just like how former presidents will name certain policies to certain groups, I think that's one thing that we're looking for. We want to hear, like, you know, how protection for Asians or, you know, things of that nature. We had Tariq Hill just pulled over and just was, you know, sat on face down on the pavement. You know, where's the protection for black women? Where's the protection for black men? Where are these policies going? I think we want to hear these things and not necessarily just, you know, under the umbrella that, you know, this is what this is in cases right here.
Yes.
So that's not hearing those cases are getting solved. She was the signer of George Floyd crime.
Okay.
She created that. She also helped push for the mortality rates or black women's health care.
Hold on for a second, Hashim. It started echoing real bad. Just adjust it a little bit.
Is this better?
Yeah, that sounds a little better.
Okay. Should he hold in her like a mic?
No, it's good now. I think it's good.
I
Yolanda,
think
is it good now? Give me a thumbs up if it's good now.
Okay.
All right. How am I coming through?
You real loud now. Just try not to move as much because I think it just started shaking when you started talking.
Yeah.
Talk less than black.
Yeah.
I mean, so she has done that. The affordable health care, as I mentioned before, with those levels of black people being disproportionately with our health rates, when the affordable health care came into place, it provided more access for black people to get health care. Remember when pre-existing conditions weren't covered? Right? So if we are genetically predisposed to more health issues, and if we are specifically targeted and redlined in grocery stores out of our neighborhoods, diabetes and high blood pressure, hypertension affect us at a disproportionate rate than any other group. You switch insurance companies, you aren't able to get health care because of that pre-existing condition, or you're paying some astronomical rates for your health care coverage. Obama pushed that through with the Affordable Health Care Act on that as well, too. $16 billion have been given to HBCUs administration under the Biden-Harris administration on that as well, too. They are going back and redoing student loan debt forgiveness has been forgiven, or that has happened, the student loan forgiveness that has happened underneath the Biden-Harris administration. And also they're going back to fix the hemorrhaging that occurred underneath Trump's plan as well, too. So when you say something that should be specifically targeted towards black people, Wanda said from a CU Regent perspective, that can't be done from a school perspective.
Right.
It can't even be done privately as well also, because there was a black woman that started up a fund to give money to black businesses developing that has now faced a lawsuit from attorneys that actually have roots here in Colorado as well.
And the lawsuit is based on discrimination.
On discrimination.
That's what
So
the
they're
lawsuit is
flipping
based
this and saying it's white discrimination, reverse discrimination, in lack of a better phrase.
And then I want to challenge you a little bit, Herman. I hear you on that part that you want to hear this piece. But what are you hearing from anybody else who has ever ran for president for your black business?
In terms of from the major political parties, nothing.
What are you hearing locally from anybody who has ever run for your black business?
Shit, we had Michael Hancock up in here and didn't do shit.
Yeah, they made a lot of promises, but nothing ever came through.
So once again, and hence my point.
So
If we're not willing to go after every white politician in the state of Colorado, in Denver, and I can start pointing out some names for you. Julia Mobley, one of your House reps, actually stood in front of the social equity owners here in Colorado for cannabis and told them that she's cutting the program, voting against the program, and they should find something better to do with their lives.
Right.
She actually sat there and chastised black business owners. This is one of your white reps who I believe is in this area, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not certain of that area.
I'm not sure her area. But this is what I'm talking about. We want to talk and we want to bring down our black brothers and sisters because they ain't done nothing for black people. I ain't hearing nothing from them. But we're not willing to do the same to the white people who really are tearing your lives apart.
I am.
Emily Sorota's area.
I am.
Wait a minute.
Definitely.
This is Emily Sorota's area?
Yes.
Emily Sorota also voted against the social equity bill and funding black businesses in cannabis. Get this. We're the ones bringing in millions and millions of dollars, and Emily Sorota and Julia Mobley actually voted against giving that money back to social equity businesses. My dispensary that has put millions in their coffers, my dispensary can't fund new black businesses through the state of Colorado.
I'm with you.
And this is your white politician.
I'm with you.
In the area of which you exist right now in this barbershop.
We need to go in on
Do
air.
not
Thank you.
Do not give me the
Thank
talking
you.
about white folks, because I will tear their head off.
This is why we look at black people like the way we look at black people, because the white people are helping their people. They help their people, so we want the same action. When we see somebody black enough, we're like, okay, help us.
Right.
So you know
Here's my
what?
We
question.
look at them like save us, like the white people are saving their people. Do you ever opinion put all the Mexicans in office? All of them, before he left.
So, yes, and
The whole city was Hispanic.
so here's my thing. Can you all name your black elected officials? Why not?
Because they not doing nothing for us.
I mean, but you should be able to know who they are to go pull
Because
their
they don't play for the Nuggets.
Like, so this is what I'm saying.
So what you're saying is nobody is doing anything for you.
My position is politically is that black people need to do for self. Period. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I'm trying to take a page out of the Asians playbook. You don't ever see any of them people down on Federal, down off of Santa Fe, who got them little Vietnam towns coming down and pressing politicians to do anything. They just do it with their pocketbook. They do it with the economics of what they do in their own community. And so that's my position in terms of what black people should be doing. We should vote with our money, with unity, establishing an economic base. Then we don't even have to worry about what politicians are doing. We just go buy us one whenever we
I
need
suggest everybody reads the book Caste. We are the lowest caste in America. And what comes with being the lowest caste in America is we don't take pride in ourselves. We would rather tell somebody, you know what, I got a Jewish attorney, I got a Jewish accountant. No one's out here bragging about the fact that they got a black attorney and a black accountant. I do too as well. I do too as well. But once again, though, too, let me be very. You know what, I'm just going to go in today. Here's the thing. We're already small business owners. We're already doing for our community.
Right.
And let me tell you this. If y'all done bought weed in the last 30 days and you haven't bought it from Simply Pure, there's only 3 black-owned dispensaries. Out of 700 dispensaries in Colorado, there's 3 black-owned. 3. And that's Lemonade over there on Washington, Simply Pure, which is mine, and then there's one other, and why am I forget the name of it? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What's
I can't. It's not cookies, but
It's he's got a cookies location. But anyway, there's only 3.
Right.
So if you're buying your weed from Native Roots, Live Well, Levels, Green Solution, any of them that you can name, then you're putting money in the white man's pocket.
Right. Absolutely. And listen, if I smoke weed, I would buy my weed from you.
Once again, I'm not just talking about weed. I'm glad that we got black folks coming to a barbershop, but that's out of necessity, right? Which is fabulous. Don't get me wrong. This is what we should be doing. But once again,
I hate to see if Koreans knew how to fade more. Look.
well,
Right.
listen, y'all don't have fading on lock anymore.
There's a tension that we have to hold in our own community, and especially when it comes to the political landscape, right? So, like a couple of things just as I've been listening. The first thing for me, this is just me saying how I engage. The national political leaders obviously are there for a specific process because we have the 3 branches of government. And so I understand that piece of it. But for me personally, what I'm not looking for is for this national grandiose way of all of a sudden they've got me in mind.
Right.
This was already built without me in
Absolutely.
mind, right? So with that, I'm like, okay, well, this is because it's a game. So if I'm going to participate in the game, what I need to make sure is that at the very least, what is the landscape of this? Kamala Harris brings a landscape that Donald Trump cannot. Donald Trump will bring a landscape that Kamala Harris will not, right? And so with that, I would rather be playing on a field where I know that there is someone that has somewhat of a parallel lived experience. So hopefully when that accountability does go up to that level, somebody can at least listen.
Right.
Donald Trump is a narcissist. He is not. If I created a movement that went into his front door as president, he's not going to listen to me. He's not going to make any changes or shifts. And if he does, it's all going to be performative. And that very well could be the case with Kamala Harris. However, if I'm going to hold someone to account for my community, I want to look at somebody that looks like me.
Right.
Because that conversation is different. And then holding the tension in our own community, we are not as politically prowess or involved as we should be. We're talking about these other communities that are getting places and positions and all of that. That's because they're getting more activated when they see a Federica Pena in office. They are going and they are continuing that conversation. And what I see from our community is we've been through so much.
Right.
And we're like, you gotta know it's hard for us. You already know how hard it is. So act because of what you already know. We have to stay active and we have to stay plugged in to say, let me remind you of how hard it's been.
Right.
And so my expectation is that you start to remedy some of the things that have happened.
And why do you know Federico Pena? Because the Latinos got out there and voted for him and made him mayor. We had the chance to have a black mayor again. We chose not to. We had the chance to put people in office before. We chose not to. We've had black women running for the U.S. Senate, but we all got behind Hickenlooper. So when we start talking about us, we need to hold up some mirrors and talk about where were you in the last campaign.
Right.
I can't do anything for you if you didn't vote for me for mayor. Nothing I can do.
Right.
I can't help you then. The Latinos knew putting Federico in place was going to help them. Once again, going back to Kamala, y'all, you miss on this one, we all deserve what we get. And let me just real quick, and going back to your thing, when you talked about the police and what happened to Tyreek Hill today, the fraternal order for police endorsed who? Donald Trump. Why? Because Donald Trump will not stand up for losing when police officers can be charged for doing qualified immunity.
He thinks they all should have it.
Donald Trump will not be standing up for that. So you want to know what Kamala Harris does for us? She stands up against the police doing horrible things to us. Not just to us, but to all people, but we're the ones who are the brunt of this situation. So y'all need to start to think this through. And if we want power, get out there and friggin' vote. Don't be listening to stupid ass Ice Cube and stupid ass Tyreek talking about you shouldn't be voting. That's just some dumb shit. It's just dumb.
Okay, so speaking on Ice Cube with his agenda, real quick.
Let's not.
Which it has some good things in it. How do we add
is right twice.
How do we add that to the local agenda?
once again, support your black businesses. And once again, here's the thing, you guys. We don't have to do black all the time or do Latino all the time. But support your black businesses, right? Support your black businesses. Drive that extra 5 minutes. You know, seriously, because if we're not putting, quick thing, and these numbers aren't exactly right, but money in the Latino community, the dollar, from what I understand, circulates something like 9 times. So in other words, the dollar comes into your barbershop and then goes into your hair care from a black. So it circulates 9 times in the Latino community. In the Asian community, it circulates something like 18 times, right? Yeah. In the black community, it's not even once.
Right.
You get your paycheck and you go spend it all on
like 4 or 5 hours.
You're like all of those.
Yeah, and it's out.
Right.
No, seriously.
There's multiple ways to approach that.
Right. There's black accountability.
You're doing it again. It's Hashim. It's Hashim.
Sorry. Right. So there are multiple reasons to address that, right? There's one, you have to make a decision on what you're going to do, where you're going to spend your money. If you're not getting I come here for the bean pies, right? So I'm making sure that I have that aspect, so I don't come in for fades. Support Wanda's business. You're intentional about how you spend your dollar, but we also have to talk about the deprogramming that we have to do for black people in this country. That indoctrination stuff is real and it's happening, and for some reason we believe that water is wetter other than at a black well. We believe that ice is colder outside of a black freezer, and we have to look. I'm gonna get scammed if I have a black account or whatever. You look at the financial frauds. Look at who's being prosecuted for all these type of savings and loans, for the cryptocurrency, for the embezzlement type of things. They're not looking like us, right? But for some reason, we believe that just because it's in a white overcoat, right, a white coating, that it's somehow better. And we have to look at the psychological impact of deconstructing that mindset that we're all subjected to.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we also have to, just holding that tension, our black politicians also need to be honest.
Oh my God.
Y'all need to be real. Like, if you're going to stand authentically in your blackness, when something happens to the black community, speak up. Because the silence is the part that really makes it hard to continue to narrate to the black community that we have to support our black politicians. You have to be willing to take the risk. You were voted into that space. Stand authentically in your blackness and stop
too many of them are for their own benefit.
And here's the other thing,
so that's the tension we gotta hold. There's problems when the community not being engaged, but then when we have black officials that are elected and that are in space, and then black community says, hey, something happened, there was a racist narrative, or there was something that took place, and the black leaders are staying silent, you start saying, then what is the fucking point, right? Like, you find yourself even being activated by it, you find yourself saying, well, then what the fuck is the point?
Well, I think part of the problem is, and this is part of my frustration with politics as well, is that the political system as we know it is not a system that was created by us. So it certainly doesn't work for us. So whenever we do get a real one in, a la Harold Washington, a la, in my view, politically, my favorite mayor is Wellington Webb.
Yep.
Because Mayor Webb did stuff for black people, and he didn't give a damn politically. They was accusing him of all sorts of cronyism and nepotism and every ism they could find until they can get him out of there, and then he no longer had a political career, even though he should have went higher. He should have been in the White House somewhere on somebody's cabinet. But he wasn't, because Mayor Webb,
Clinton over
he was too black. He was too black. You know what I'm saying? And you could choose, whether he chose Clinton over Barack. Again, Barack was a black man, but...
Stop. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm 1,000% not going to. No,
he was a black man, but
there's no but, because last time I said
I voted for him.
Maybe it's like
but
Yeah.
There's nothing that Barack did that we can point to and say.
Really? He legalized cannabis. You know what cannabis did to them? No, before we even start there. When he came out with the Ogden memo less than 24 hours after he was elected, that allowed the states to do what they do. Let me tell you something about the Ogden memo. Hold up. No, I'm going to tell you some other black shit that happened. No, not just that. What that did here in Colorado, 34% of the arrests in Denver, Colorado were black before legalization.
And they still in jail.
No, they're not.
A lot of people are still in jail for
That's not true.
If you're talking about jail, you have to talk about Trump's implication when Jeff Sessions got in there and started.
Let me let Wanda get it off. I'm sorry, Miss Wanda. Go ahead.
We are not going to do that with cannabis because someone who is a damn expert on cannabis is sitting right here from start to finish. There are not people in jail right now because of their use of cannabis. It is not happening for that reason here in Colorado. 34% arrests in Denver, Colorado for simple possession of cannabis were black before legalization happened. Less than 1% of simple arrests in Denver right now, 1% happen to be a cannabis arrest. And honestly, if you're getting arrested with cannabis in Denver, I don't even know what you've got behind you. You must have like semi-trucks coming. I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but it's not that. And those people that were in jail for cannabis have now been expunged, have now been let out, and are now out. Now, if it was a violent arrest and it was cannabis and meth, amphetamines, and cocaine, yeah, you might be in jail.
And sworn on the police.
But you are not going to blame that. You are not going to blame that on cannabis. And you know what? And that is directly responsible because of Barack Obama. Period.
Okay, so we're gonna give Barack
a break.
The weed.
No, it wasn't about weed, y'all. It was about stopping the arrest. Also, too, one of our chefs, brilliant young man, and I was sitting down talking to him. I was like, "How did you end up being a chef?" And he was like, "He was in school in, oh my goodness." I can't remember. In school, he was in his junior year. He got busted with weed, got kicked out, lost his grants, and he said the only thing, and he was an engineer, and he was like, the only thing I could do after that was we went to culinary school because we don't care about who used weed. So when you start talking about weed, this ain't about who smokes weed. This is about your students losing scholarships. This is about having to check the felony box for the rest of your life. That's what this is about. I don't give a hell about who wants to smoke weed. We've been doing that forever. Legalization has nothing to do with smoking weed. Let's understand that right now. It's about putting people in prison, it's about slave labor, and it's about losing your scholarships and your opportunity to be something, whatever you wanted to be after college. That's what this is about.
And Barack also didn't have to run, right? Like his candidacy alone was something that was done for the black narrative. He didn't have to run.
Right.
He was doing just fine. He didn't have to run. Now, granted, being a president, there are things that are afforded to you, but he didn't have to bring his black wife, his black daughters
from the south side of Chicago.
Into this light of knowing that he was going to be criticized by everyone, including his own.
And this is the problem with being the lowest caste in America. I'm sorry, I'm just going in today, but I hear you. But once again, this is part of being the lowest caste in America. Well, we had a black president, but he wasn't all we wanted him to be. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm talking about? We had a black president, goddammit. His wife was black. His children are black. His family is black. What did that do? It elevated black businesses. It brought black people into government. You know, come on. Come on!
In a
system, out of this.
In a system that wasn't created for us.
I think it was good. It was a good thing to see.
It was a great thing to see.
So he did something for the black
Hold on.
It was like the genie was let out of the bottle.
I'm gonna pull your card.
We could achieve.
I'm gonna pull your card a little bit because we was in this motherfucker wearing Barack Obama t-shirts. We had the damn, we had the Barack Obama with the Neo with the bullets and he going backwards.
I made some bread when Barack Obama won.
And so I go back to the question that I asked last time I was here: is as black men in the room, what narrative do we as black women receive when there are individuals that will not support this black woman? And I know that we said last time that she has a white husband. That does not make her less of a black woman.
So
she is still a black woman in her own black spaces, and she shows up that way through her nonverbals and through the way that she is presented and the way she presents.
And through her work.
What is that story if she doesn't win on November 5th? and it comes potentially at the sake of the black male demographic not supporting to put her there. What is that story that we
That was
tell
the thing that I wanted to
the
get
next
across to you last time. I didn't want you to think that that's where I was going with that when I said that, because just like how we have Kamala Harris and how she was raised and reared up, we got Barack Obama. We could be having the same conversation on her blackness. If Barack Obama had a white wife and she had her white children, we'd be having the same conversation about that. But I was saying that the psychological thing that we go through, and we see Kamala Harris, and she got the white husband and the white babies.
Yeah, let's talk about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and any other.
No, I hear that. I hear that.
Any other wealthy black men in society to divorce their black wives from some white woman that they're running around with.
We talk shit about them too.
We punish them for that.
And we talk shit
We
about
punish them for
them
that.
too. We don't give them no pass.
But you have to draw a line
In
between
this
the
barbershop,
personal.
we don't give them no
But
pass.
you have to draw a line between the personal and the work that has been done. Sure, she's married to Doug, who's a white man.
Yeah.
But the work that she has done has still helped black people.
But you have to be mature in your thinking to look past that thing.
My
My
father married a white woman who I happen to love a whole lot because she happened to be my mom. But let me tell you what, my mom died a year ago, 3 days ago. But anyway, my mom, the most down white woman that you ever want to meet. My mom would say things to me when we're sitting there, baby, they just don't understand us. And I'm like, Mom, who's us? Who we talking about? My mother was not confused by the things that white people said to her, because she's British, said to her not knowing that she had 2 black children and a black husband. And make no mistake, these black children were raised as black children. There has never been a time in my life that my parents have looked at me and said, oh, you could be white. No, hell to the no, that never happened. So when we start talking about marriages and who people love on the whole, there's lots of reasons why we love who we love, and I'm happy to have that conversation with her all day, every day, as a half white human being. But let's not discount Doug and where Doug is at and what he believes and his support of his wife.
There's no discount. I'm speaking of how the collective may
And
view
there's so
that
many
in
things that play a part
conversation.
in that too, because it's not about who you love and whatnot. Because to your point, we all got a little bit of something mixed up in us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't never say that we don't.
Right.
But I think with Kamala Harris, just with a lot of black people, it's the same. Okay, it's a political thing, right? To a large extent, because I asked the same question about Herman Cain. I love Herman Cain. Because his name was Herman. But how many of us would have voted for? And yeah, I like the little flat tax plan. But how many of us would have voted for Herman Cain? Most black people wouldn't.
Because he was running all underneath the
Because that was one good thing that he had, that flat tax, amongst the other horrible things that he had.
And you know why he's dead? And you know why he's dead? Because his black ass wouldn't wear a mask. And he got COVID and died.
So Trump's rally killed him.
Trump's rally killed him.
May he rest in peace.
May he
Rest in peace. Thank you, MiDian. Thank you.
Why you talking real strong? Dumbass nigga.
God damn. Damn, Wanda.
I know. I'm hot today. I'm all fired today. Fired up.
Kamala.
You say her name.
Anthony. Kamala. You got it. You got it. Kamala.
But the feeling that y'all feel with her being as women, black women, we felt that with Obama. The men felt it with Obama.
Absolutely.
Like, we really felt it like, okay, so the black man, oh yes.
Then we found out he get who?
Yeah. We
Right, so there's a lot of different factors.
Fast forward years later.
Emotional reasons.
Fast forward years later, you're saying, Obama wasn't all that great. Right? But he had the black wife. He had the black kids. So you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, it wasn't that he wasn't great. His politics weren't that great. He was great. I love Barack Obama.
So he was great.
But his politics was shit.
weren't.
Sorry.
But her politics are.
They were not.
But her politics are. And people need to look at her track record of what she has done and what she has pushed for to help out black community. She got labeled as a social worker when she was running for DA because she's like, no, I'm doing smart DA type of work, right? I recognize the social impact that has happened on black and brown communities, and this is what I'm going to institute once I get elected to help with that harm. Those are her specific policies before the president thing was even on paper.
I love Barack Obama so much, and I supported my black brothers by the tune of $300,000 that I was able to raise for him out of Colorado. That's why I was on his National Finance Committee. I stood with my black brothers and black men and blackness because I understood what was at stake. And damn it, I'm expecting that out of every single one of you to stand with us and to stand with me and to stand with Kamala and to stand with MiDian. And if you ain't standing with us, then get the fuck out of the way because we will roll over you at this point. So I'm expecting my brothers to do the same thing that I did for them.
And that's the question, Travis. Like you said, like you all had that energy. You saw a black man, and the policies behind, we'll figure it out later. What I'm asking is, are you willing to do the same thing for this black woman?
I promise you. If Kamala had a big old black Kamala, if she had a big old black husband with two small black little girls with locks in their hair, would nobody be talking shit?
Yeah, they would. They would just be talking shit about the husband and the children as well.
I don't think.
You talking about the black community wouldn't be talking shit?
Yeah, as much shit as we're talking about Kamala. We wouldn't be talking. We wouldn't because it's all about aesthetics.
I hear what you're saying.
It's all about
that's true.
And people are seeing this one way, and they're like, "Oh man, she ain't for us. Look at her husband."
I hear what you're saying, but I think that the conditioned mindset that I've seen come through, we would have found something.
Right.
We would have found
real.
something.
Well, we found something about Barack. I'm sure there was a few of us that know when he was doing his campaign, we like.
So we would have just been talking.
His ain't tight enough. His fade ain't tight enough. Look at his fade.
Right. Barack did a lot. Right. Barack killed a lot of leaders, like from other countries. One I didn't agree with, the Muammar Gaddafi.
Right.
I didn't agree with that.
I ain't either.
So.
But I think if you take that job on.
So wait a minute. You were not down with the killing of Muammar Gaddafi?
Nah.
Really? Why? Here we go. Remember, you're talking to a United States naval officer right now, so make sure you're right on what you're getting.
Why would you kill that dude?
What was the reason?
Muammar Gaddafi was one of the most progressive African leaders that we've ever had. Straight up.
And an enemy of the state of the United States. Now we can kind of hold up.
There's all sorts of black people who are enemies. We're enemies of the state of the United States.
Angela Davis.
I know I'm enemy of Aurora
Asada Shakur.
Talking about what the fuck? Are you serious? I mean, come on now. We've been the number one enemy of the United States.
Muammar Gaddafi, his problem, according to the United States, he was unifying Africa. He was unifying Africa.
Listen, and unification has never been a stranger to targeting. Right? When you look at any leader, anyone that wants to unify, Fred Hampton, why did he die? Right?
Unifying.
It was the unifying aspect. Dr. King, we done gave you Negroes voting rights. We done gave you all this.
Right.
When did he die? Unifying. Right? So unifying is the issue, and Gaddafi was doing that at a international level on the continent, and so that helped add to it.
If you can individualize countries, you can control them better. If you unify, if Africa was to unify, it would have changed the whole course of history. Now, you being a naval officer, what is your reason that you didn't like Muammar Gaddafi? I'm curious.
Attack the United States. Attack the United States. So we're talking two different things here. So let's be very clear. Okay. Yes, we are absolutely on the hit list of what's happened to Americans with this government, and I am in full agreement with all the things that we have talked about, from Fred Hampton, the Black Panther. I get that, right? Those are American citizens. So that's a different issue than what we're saying. That's a different issue than what we're
international policy is complex. I get it.
From outside of the United States, right? Unifying to attack the country. Hold up. Unifying to attack the country. I can't get down with, right?
Wasn't unification to attack the country, though?
Yeah.
And why does unification always equal up to attacking something else? Why can't you just unify?
So you guys don't think that Muammar
I'm not saying that, and so this is what I'm not saying that.
Muammar Gaddafi took over Libya in a bloodless coup. Muammar Gaddafi lived in the middle of a desert in a tent. He refused to live in a castle because he wouldn't live above the means of his people. He didn't want any sort of homelessness in the country of Libya. He shared the revenue of Libya's oils. He nationalized it to where everybody got a check every single month.
In Libya?
In Libya.
So Herman, based
and what
upon
did that do for you?
But based
what
upon
does that do
that,
for me?
That he was not an enemy.
He was trying to unite all of Africa. Those are my people. Ain't nobody trying to unite.
As he drew the line of death, which, if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember.
What's the line of death?
Right, the line of death was a line that if America crosses, he was going to attack American soldiers.
if America crossed where?
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it the same thing?
That's our practice.
So listen, I think international policy is a slippery slope.
It is.
Right? And so
It's
when
not.
But hold on.
No, it's not, and it is.
It's really not.
Because
when you're killing people, you're killing people.
excuse
And
me.
that's one of my problems with
Agreed.
Kamala. That's the biggest thing that this whole standing 10 toes down for Israel, man, gets on my goddamn nerves. And I can
She didn't
never
say that.
support her on
She didn't
that.
say that.
She didn't have to say it. She didn't have to
She
say it.
absolutely said it.
She came out and she said that she supports the ceasefire and she needs us to end right away.
And a
She's
two-state
like-
solution.
And it's two-state solution. She did say
But
very
she
clearly.
also said that Israel has the right to defend themselves.
They do have the right to
What do
defend
you think
themselves.
that they've been doing?
I'm not.
But that's not Israel, that's Netanyahu.
We're talking about 1,200 people killed on October 7th compared to
That's
40,000
Netanyahu.
since.
We
And I
have to
agree.
be clear, that's
And it's a problem.
Netanyahu.
But I agree.
With American-made bombs that are
Yes.
sent by Biden and Harris.
You can't send bread and bombs at the same goddamn time.
Come on now.
We have to be clear,
That's
that's
what I'm talking
Netanyahu.
about.
And unless you have
The corruption of this system is so great that it can't possibly do any good for us. That's why I don't give a damn whether it be Trump or Kamala. It's not about supporting no black woman. She's not gonna be able to help us anyway.
Yeah.
She gonna get up in there and do the bidding of exactly whoever runs this country in truth. Here comes the conspiracy, because Biden not running it for damn show, and Trump didn't run it when he was in office.
But what it does is it
None of that's
creates
true.
a different landscape, and we haven't seen her as president.
Right,
So now
thank
we're
you.
making an assumption on what she will or won't do, and we haven't seen her as president. Now, historically, each president that has come in has absolutely curated and created an establishment and sustained that. However, Kamala's presence changes the political landscape as we know it, period, because of just how she presents. So now she has an opportunity. Now, what she does with the opportunity, that is still to be seen. And we have to ensure that we hold her just as accountable as we would hold anyone else. And the part that I don't see is that we are keeping the same energy. There is something about Kamala that we are building more expectation.
Yep.
We are requiring her to do something more than we have seen.
It's
I have no
only
expectation.
because we're tired of the same old shit.
I have no
That's
expectation.
why.
Let's go back to Israel and Hamas and
Let's do
Palestine for a
that.
second.
Let's do that.
So I have been supporting ceasefire from the very beginning. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
as a former military officer, I am anti-war.
Okay.
I don't believe in war. As a woman, my men can beat up your men. It seems to be the stupidest policy that I can possibly imagine anywhere
Okay.
right now. Netanyahu is no different than Trump.
Thank
This
you.
is a Netanyahu
I
problem
agree.
that we have going on,
I
and he
agree.
must be removed from office.
Absolutely.
And she all but said that last night. And she all but said that a bunch of weeks ago. When she said, I support a ceasefire. Israel does have the opportunity to protect itself. Now let me say this. Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, you know what? Let them get over here and watch what me and MiDian look like. Covered from head to toe. They just came out yesterday, the day before yesterday, where women in Afghanistan are not allowed to speak or laugh in public. And these are the people, this is Hamas.
Yep.
This is who Hamas is. So I gotta tell you, as a black woman, hold up, as a woman, beat those motherfuckers to the ground.
So let me
Afghanistan, no.
say this.
Hamas is not Afghanistan, no.
And Hamas is
Hamas is
not.
absolutely
And
Hamas is a terrorist organization.
And Hamas are not that
Palestinian.
Palestinian. Hamas is not small Palestinian
So
children
that
either.
there is
Exactly.
absolute nonsense going on between the leadership of
Thank you,
Netanyahu
MiDian.
and then the way in which Hamas is moving. There are
Thank you.
innocent
Thank
people
you.
Okay.
standing
Okay.
behind
Caught in the middle, being
all
caught in the middle.
entities.
And you know what I wish, And I wish that these politicians would stop that saying is that this should start on October 7th.
Agreed. Oh no, it cannot start on October 7th.
That's what she said last night. She said on October 7th.
October 7th, there were 1,200 people that were attacked in March.
So listen, but if you show up on your block every day and somebody slapped the hell out of you and your husband since 1948, what the fuck you think you gonna do after a period of time?
100% agree. However, and I'm gonna go after the people that are slapping the shit out of me, not the people standing behind it.
Thank you.
I'm coming to get you,
Thank you.
and if I'm not going to shoot somebody because you're standing behind them, I'm going to figure out how the fuck to get to you.
What's happening?
Randy said order in the court. Order in the court.
What's happening to Gaza right now is a failure of humanity.
Oh
It is repulsive and disgusting. What Israel is doing to Palestinians and Gaza is repulsive. Let me start right there. Repulsive. But if you think that there is ever going to be a chance that I ever stand up for Hezbollah, Hamas, or any of those terrorist organizations, y'all got another thing coming.
But you all,
I get it.
But the Palestinians, absolutely, 1,000%.
And we also, and Palestine is one thing. We need to start talking about the Sudan. We need to start talking about
we
the
gotta
Congo
wrap this up.
because all of those things are going into the tech that is being dropped in on the children.
Wanda has her Kamala poster.
What time is it?
We gotta wrap this up.
That we aren't talking.
We went off the rails again. We gotta have Wanda back. This is awesome.
They said the
Conversation.
echoes. They said the echoes are
I
loud.
love it. I love it. I love Wanda.
y'all
Even
so
though
much.
she told us we not with Kamala. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
I love your energy, Wanda. Your energy's on fire.
But get out the way.
My sister.
I ain't playing.
Oh my God. Y'all come get a haircut.
Absolutely.
If you could have heard this, because they said the echoes was real crazy in the chat. So
we actually do haircuts here. Y'all come get a haircut. astar2.com, 8060 East Girard. Get your latest edition of the Final Call. Listen, it's been a blast. Wanda, you have anything you want to promote your business? You want to tell people where we at?
So y'all, Simply Pure Dispensary, we are the first African Americans legally licensed in America to sell cannabis, to grow cannabis, and to make edibles. We have been doing this now for 15 years. We have one dispensary. We are teeny tiny in the world of cannabis shops. We're located at the corner of Tejon and 32nd on the historic north side. Low high for if any of y'all are new to Denver. But come check out Simply Pure. We train our people. We have a whole black-owned shelf. We bring in every black-owned product in cannabis that is produced in Colorado. You will find at our dispensary. And we do that purposely. We promote them. We bring folks in. We also have a women-owned shelf because I do the same thing for women in cannabis. But, sometimes it's convenient just to go grab a joint at Native Roots, which is right around the corner from y'all. I get it. I'm not mad at that. But y'all, if you happen to be in the neighborhood, come by and spend your dollars with us.
This is your sister's weed.
Buy your weed from blacks.
From black women. Buy your weed from black women.
Also, can you plug the new business that you
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. My husband's gonna beat me up. So my husband, the amazing chef Scott Durrell, who owned 8 Rivers in downtown Denver, who owned Jezebel's over on the north side, just opened up his newest business, which is the Jerk Pit Smokehouse.
Right.
He is bringing together, so our very first restaurant was in Santa Monica, the Jamaican Cafe. Okay. He is bringing all of the things that he loves about the Caribbean, about Southern food, and he's bringing it into the Jerk Pit Smokehouse. But what's more important about this is he's offering internships.
Yep.
Because what's important for us right now is that we are training and bringing on the next generation of hospitality workers, so that chefs, bartenders, people that want to understand restaurant management, we're trying to pull all of that together and give that back, because we can't keep being the only black-owned whatever.
Right.
It needs to be more. So
That's
come
what
by,
I'm talking about.
get your ribs, get your jerk chicken, and then go get your weed, all within one block of each other.
And come get your bean pie after that.
And then
your
get your
everything y'all said. We got that good merch. Jerk Pit.
Do we have any vegetarian, vegan items on the menu?
There are vegetarian, vegan items on there, and I told him that he has to do a special on every Friday for new vegan items. So things like jerk tofu and callaloo from the islands.
Can you veganize a lot of those dishes that he has on?
Not the pork or the ribs or the chicken.
Yeah.
But I'm messing with you now. But yes, absolutely. There's all kinds of salads on there.
Okay.
I mean, there's good stuff. Oh, and pizzas. He's named a couple of pizzas off of some famous folks. We have the Graham Pro Pizza, which is from Daniel Graham and the Graham family. As you know, Daniel Graham's dad was a Broncos.
Support black business.
We're gonna get a Graham.
We got a Graham Pizza. There's the Regent Pizza, which is named after your favorite Regent.
Give them the address. Where can they go?
Oh, the address is 3210 Wyandotte.
Wyandotte.
And the dispensary is 2000 South Tejon.
Okay.
3210 Wyandotte.
Yes.
You up?
What's the other one?
3200 Tejon.
Tejon. Okay.
Yep. It's right on the corner.
2000 Tejon.
So y'all support black business.
Yeah, and support all the black businesses. And like I said, it doesn't have to be all the time, 'cause I know that we're small but mighty. But you know what? Make a plan that once a week you're doing something just for us, right? Put your black dollar back into a black business. You know?
And we're going to build black community. We're going to go from colony to community, like my brother said
and
this
there's opportunity
weekend.
also, y'all, to use your own platform. Like for me, I know when people want to meet with me, if they want to say, hey, MiDian, let's sit down and have lunch, you can only pick a black-owned restaurant.
Yep.
Right.
I will not meet you anywhere else. And I give people a list, right? And I use Calendly, and I explain to people that was created by a black man. Whenever somebody is scheduling Zoom,
Get
it
out.
was created by a
Seriously.
black woman. Yeah, you got to educate each other, but use your platform also to ensure that people
Black
know
coffee
and
shops.
understand. Yeah, absolutely. Tea leaves,
So listen,
beer, all that.
Y'all, thanks for coming in. Listen, we got to get out of here because we got to go do some hair cutting. We'll get with y'all on the next. Remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Stay black, stay strong. We love y'all. We out!
Speak how you walk.
Get out the way. Get out the way, y'all. Peace.
I love y'all so much.